Thank you for watching News Echoes. My name is Haugan Johnson, and you are watching the news analysis across the globe. What we do is we give you information, we give you analysis of such information that you might have an informed opinion. Then you will decide which way you act. I'm so glad you're watching. In the studio, I have with me Ambassador Nathaniel Iyako. Ambassador Nat, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, His Grace, and
Thank you very
welcome.
much. Speaking from the center of London, and in faraway Italy, in Milan, is our colleague Mark Godwin. Mark, you're welcome to the program.
Good morning, Sashike. Dr. Schengen, we missed you last week.
Yes, I miss you too, for a greater purpose, isn't it? But
yes,
to God be the glory, like they say. I'm so glad to be back. But I'm back with some fuel shortage in the United Kingdom. It's still raging, and the government is saying it's going down. No more fuel shortage. But I don't know. Our in-house researcher will tell us more. Nat, what's been happening with this fuel shortage in the United Kingdom?
Thank you very much. As we battled the fuel shortages in we had some news last Saturday, 2nd October 2021, in an occasion where our very own Reverend Dr. Olusegun Johnson was coronated and installed as a bishop. And that carries with it now a new title. I don't know whether it's title or name of His Grace. His Grace Bishop Olusegun Omobolaji Johnson. That is his new title now. That is the way we will want him to be addressed, because it's a very, very serious conferment of spiritual honor, spiritual upliftment. And so this installation will be displaying some video clips, even if we can't do it today, but most likely in subsequent program. The installation was conducted by the Kingdom Way College of Bishops and Ministerial Alliance. It's an international recognized body of bishops in America, in Europe, in Africa. And they were in Tom Park Lane, Liberty Church, London, UK, to conduct this exercise. And the exercise was beamed worldwide on Facebook, on Zoom. So we want to believe that some of our viewers today, or audience today, will have watched that ceremony. The ceremony was brief, but it took 5 solid hours for the installation, because the bishop, the College of Bishops, they were interested in details and telling the world how important that installation was, that coronation was, because it's going to affect not only Liberty Church in London. The impact is going to be worldwide, and we are looking forward to this impact and these changes not only in the church, but in the larger community. And we had a veteran bishop, Bishop Emmanuel Mark Jones, superintending as chairman of the College of Bishops, and he had other bishops assisting him in this exercise. We had Bishop Ose Tutu, and that name should ring a bell in history books in the secondary school. We did history of West Africa, Ghana Empire. and we had other bishops assisting in this exercise. We had Bishop Dr. Kayode Fanilola. We had Dr. Anthony Aladekoba. We had Archbishop Samuel Oluwa Rotimi, and a host of other bishops, but strongly supported by Liberty Church London, who were, they were highly delighted, highly motivated in the exercise. And Dr. Reverend, now his grace had as one of his main theme of his bishop charge is Luke 4:18. He has come to by the power of the Holy Spirit to set the captives free, to enlighten the world of the power of God, to enlighten the world against the forces of darkness that we are facing at this moment. And we're going to be hearing more from him in the weeks to come, months to come, and the years to come. But this is a time that captives are going to be set free. This is the time that people will enjoy the grace, the beauty, the love and righteousness of God Almighty. And the times in which we are in, we want to commit ourselves and support the new bishop in his new assignment. Due to time factor, we wouldn't be able to say as much as happened on October 2nd, 2021. So once again, His Grace, Segun Johnson.
Thank you very much,
Welcome
Ambassador.
to Bishop Club. Exclusive. It's not for everybody, but I'm sure he will carry us along in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you very much, Ambassador.
So I cannot continue with what's happening in the
Yes,
UK.
please. Yes, please. So what's happening with the fuel shortage in the United Kingdom?
The fuel shortage is still very much with us, but the Prime Minister have deployed the army to assist in lifting the and from what government the feedback we are receiving, the situation is improving. There are still some challenges in the southeast of the
I think network issue.
We were just about to talk about the outage of the bit. Ambassador Nat, are you still with us there?
Hello?
Okay. Yeah, we can hear you now. You went off
Okay.
the air for a few seconds. Yeah.
Yes. So what I was trying to say, the fuel situation seems to be improving in the UK, but we still have some challenges in the southeast part of the country. But we are looking forward to the next few days and 1 week for this issue to be normalized.
Okay, let's hear from Europe how they visualize what's happening in the United Kingdom. Mark, Schengen, you withdrew all your HGV drivers. You are punishing us because we left Europe. Is that what your guys are doing?
Oh, it's really interesting. Imagine UK that has the BP, the British Petroleum, one of the biggest conglomerates in the world, and it's not able to meet up with petrol distribution. So we're looking at it from here. We see that the military has been called in and delivery has started, but still there are long queues and there are hostility also. We see people fighting, people getting angry with themselves on the queue. And I think it's running to its second week now. So
Yeah, the argument of Europeans is that they don't want to settle for short visas, temporary visas in the United Kingdom, and because it doesn't give their family a future. How do you Europeans see it there? I mean, those of you living in Europe, why is it that you cannot just come in, work for us for 6 months, and get out of here?
that's it. There are opportunities in the UK. There are more opportunities there to do things. So people obviously don't want to have that short stay and move out like that. You want to be able to do what you're doing and comfortably do it to your own duration. So yes, there is that back and forth with UK and the Europeans, and the COVID situation too is adding to it. So so much strict laws, strict measures, strict regulations, and it's not favoring the Schengen Europe side of it.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
but we
Thank you.
are still working things.
One more question for you, Ambassador, now, before we leave this matter. The soldiers have been rolled in to distribute fuel. Why did not the British government do this 4 weeks ago? Why did they wait for this? And they have left room for the conspiracy theorists saying that they wanted to roll in the army when nobody will be able to controvert it so that they could have a militarized state. Is that correct? And why did they also leave it like that? Why are they giving room for conspiracy theories?
Well, in well-established democracies, and especially in the Western world, uh, the military or the armed forces of each country has a well-defined role they play in society, and the military, they are charged with the responsibility of defending the territorial integrity of each country and the sovereignty of this country, to ensure there is no external aggression. Let's assume that even the first stage caused some crisis in the economy, in the society. The other organs of law and order should have been able to take charge and bring been studying nation. He must have been studying or he rolled British Army to assist in
I think Ambassador Nat's network is not stable.
It's not stable
sorting
today.
out the
Yeah.
oil crisis. So that it's the
Okay. We will ask him to adjust
we
and then
want to
we'll get
believe
back
that
to you.
we want to believe that the military will not be here for too long. Once the fuel crisis is over, they go back to their barracks and go back to their constitutional responsibilities.
But that may be difficult because HGV drivers are not manufactured overnight. So while they distribute, and then if things go to normal, who will sustain that normalcy?
Well, the normalcy will be sustained because there will be fewer, the queues will be shortened. And I'm sure they have an inbuilt mechanism where the system will now have to run efficiently, especially lifting the petroleum product from the depot the to the petrol stations.
Okay, I can resonate with that because the panic buying will have disappeared. Those with three cars and filling all the three cars will have disappeared. They will have all full tanks. Yeah, that sounds okay. We'll just have to leave it as that, and
And
we'll come to
and
this issue.
the 30 pound,
Yes, the 30 pounds
so
is
you
taken
can
out
now
of
buy
it.
as much as you
As
can.
much as I went to the pumps yesterday and I could buy a full tank, which was over 80 pounds. So no, it wasn't there was no cap for my car. So let's see. Thank you very much. Um, Many of us experienced outage of the Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram on Monday, unprecedented, and it led to so many businesses collapsing, including the Facebook itself. Facebook lost billions of dollars, up to $12 billion. Shares went down, and things went haywire just because of one man's business that went down. Let me ask from uh, the media man, not Mark. How did you tell us? How did you find this one? You making use of the media more than any of us.
Well, everybody makes use of media these days. You have a large percentage of human beings on media every day on social platforms. So yes, Monday, the 4th of October was a very interesting day, very tragic.
Hmm.
It started from the United States. There was that outage of Facebook, and since Facebook also owns Instagram and WhatsApp, that outage broke out to all those platforms too. So we had a situation where everybody's about 4 point something billion people that normally use WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, all came to a halt. And the information is there was a touch in the server. The server is the center point of configuration and the flow of uh, uh, data. So there was a malfunction there, and it caused that outage. So it was a sad one. Businesses went down.
Was it a malfunction or a sabotage? Did someone go there to destroy anything?
Well, the way it looks, we're as at now, we've not really gotten very precise information about that situation. It's still the press houses giving their own insights. So
Hmm.
Facebook needs to give us a precise information on what might have happened. So that we're still waiting for. But take note that prior to that outage, there was a whistleblower. A whistleblower came out to give some very
What
mind-blowing.
what's her name again?
Yes, Hagan. Hagan.
Yeah.
I think we can have a video of her talking uh, to. There's a video on her talking. Let's see that.
Yes, let's take that video.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Chairman Blumenthal, Ranking Member Blackburn, and members of the subcommittee. Thank you for the opportunity to appear before you. My name is Frances Haugan. I used to work at Facebook. I joined Facebook because I think Facebook has the potential to bring out the best in us. But I'm here today because I believe Facebook's products harm children, stoke division, and weaken our democracy. The company's leadership knows how to make Facebook and Instagram safer, but won't make the necessary changes because they have put their astronomical profits before people. Congressional action is needed. They won't solve this crisis without your help. Yesterday, we saw Facebook get taken off the internet. I don't know why it went down, but I know that for more than 5 hours, Facebook wasn't used to deepen divides, destabilize democracies, and make young girls and women feel bad about their bodies. It also means that millions of small businesses weren't able to reach potential customers, and countless photos of new babies weren't joyously celebrated by family and friends around the world. I believe in the potential of Facebook. We can have social media we enjoy that connects us without tearing apart our democracy, putting our children in danger, and sowing ethnic violence around the world. We can do better. I have worked as a product manager at large tech companies since 2006, including Google, Pinterest, Yelp, and Facebook. My job has largely focused on algorithmic products like Google Plus Search and recommendation systems like the one that powers the Facebook newsfeed. Having worked on 4 different types of social networks, I understand how complex and nuanced these problems are. However, the choices being made inside of Facebook are disastrous for our children, for our public safety, for our privacy, and for our democracy. And that is why we must demand Facebook make changes.
So that's it, Sashage. It's a serious allegation she's putting out. And one of the things she said is that Facebook does not really care about people's safety and people's well-being. Facebook is only interested in making money. Now we ask the question, how much money does making money is? Because already Facebook is a very rich company. Mark Zuckerberg is the world's 9th richest person. So how much more money does he want to make? Not minding the life of people, safety of people, children being, what she was saying is children and women are vulnerable because of the way Facebook has done its content things. So people are open to some intruders coming into their private life. Children are open to pedophiles, coming through Facebook. So, and these are dangerous. These are very critical situations. So that's what she said.
Will you say she was saying it from the point of revenge? She used to work with them. She's left now, and she took away some papers. Is that how we behave when we leave a company we work with?
Yes, well, looking at it from the ethics side, yes, she's really breaking a lot of code, a lot of work ethic and confidentiality, because you don't come out you don't go against a place you've labored and earned living, and now you're betraying them like this. That's looking at it from that angle. But she's also trying to make us know that she's fighting for this vulnerability of women and children that bothers her. So,
did you really think she made an impression of analysts? Did she say something new? What she said concerning pornography, child abuse, women abuse, these are things that all of us have suspected all along. Did she really tell us, apart from the inside house research that she said that Zuckerberg and the leadership team did not use in monitoring and managing the organization? That's the only thing we got that was new, that they did an internal research, but they did not follow. But all the things about what she was saying was how to regulate Facebook, and I don't know where she's coming from. The United States of America is really divided between Trump and Biden. And you remember that Facebook banned by Trump the other day. So I'm not sure how far we could take this woman, because she was really making serious points on how smoking was banned, advertisement of smoking was banned, the pornography was regulated. Facebook should be regulated. And she was making a case like a lawyer in the court. But to what extent did she penetrate your walls and resonate with you?
Well, you're very correct, Dr. Shagun. She's not saying anything new. These are things we've always said. But what is happening now is she's putting a more heavier weight on this issue. And she being an insider, and not just an insider, she was a major player, a major worker with Facebook. She has her facts. So with this down, the government can come in and really find ways to regulate Facebook. Like she said, cigarettes and all these things are being controlled. So Facebook also should be controlled. So it's something that should be looked into. The government should not wave this aside, because we're talking of human beings, we're talking of lives of people, women and children. So nobody wants to be vulnerable to anything. She even said Facebook made some Facebook's algorithms, that's the content, allow some of these situations in the world to occur. Some of these terrorist attack, even the she talked of the one what just happened in the Capitol Hill, the raid of the Capitol Hill early this year, and she said all that came out because Facebook's content page allows those kind of thing. So this is what is happening. I know it won't be waved to one corner. The government will look seriously into this. Funny enough, our friend was not interested in what she was saying. So while this was going on, while she was talking, Mark Zuckerberg was somewhere sailing with the family and enjoying himself. So,
all right. I think we're about to sail into a short break, and then we'll allow Ambassador Nat to come back. And so let's go on a short break. When we return, we'll be looking at serious issues. Russia launching.
Schengen Story magazine is an African international bi-monthly magazine based in Milan, Italy, and founded in 2016. The publication focuses on personalities, fashion, style, entrepreneurship, and culture for Africans. Though articles on food, movies, fitness, music, travel, sports, technology, and books are also featured. Our lives full of best stories. A lot can happen in a month. Expand your mind, change your world. Get Schengen Story magazine's full editions, celebrating Africans make an impact. Read better, the inside story. Your fashion magazine for a better lifestyle, inspiring stories for you. Your monthly dose of entertainment, a better mind keeping you updated.
Hashtag Schengen Story magazine. Get Schengen Story magazine full editions.
Welcome back to News Echo, and we hope to get Ambassador Nat back as soon as possible. He's here. Yay!
Thank you.
Good. Yes, is that part of the outage we were talking about before you left?
It's technology.
Yes,
Technology.
quickly. I wanted you to discuss some other things, but I would love everyone to hear your view about that outage. Were you particularly impressed about France's position, or you think she's making a mountain out of a molehill?
No, my immediate reaction is, why is she coming out now? I'm sure what she was giving us was more of history than telling the world what was happening in Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram. The I think she looks like an opportunist and trying to score a very cheap point against Facebook and especially against Mark Zuckerberg. The main thing there is, what happened on Tuesday. We're talking of the 4 billion, almost 4 billion people who use Facebook and other things were affected. And that is more than half the population of the world. The population of the world is 7.8 billion, and you are talking of almost 4 billion. So, and the danger there too is security wise. One organization has information on 4 billion people, and we don't know how this information is being used. And so there is need for a regulation, even as you said, of the operations of Facebook and uh, WhatsApp and Instagram. The, the the amount of loss, I'm sure, eventually will be quantified, and we'll get to know the figures. And you notice that even Facebook itself had to go to Twitter. Uh,
Mm.
but but meanwhile, where in some countries Twitter has been banned officially, uh, we don't we don't know how they cope. But we understand we have very active users in Nigeria of Facebook, 33 million people. And so
Mm.
it was like it was a panic that first hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours plus. We in the past, 2019 or 2020, we had similar outage, but it didn't last more than 1 hour, not up to 2 hours. So it was like a panic. America,
Well, we'll just have to leave it like that. So we heard of this Pandora Expo. I'm still trying to get my head around it. The leaders all over the world have been doing something they shouldn't have been doing, and they've not been telling us the whole truth. Well, we cannot take 11.9 million pages here on this show. We'll just take one or two. Ambassador Nat, what are the two people exposed you think we should take? Peter Obi, Anthony Blair, or who, or Bagudu and Peter Obi? Help me out here.
I think if we want to localize it,
Mm.
Peter Obi for one. When we talk of Peter Obi, former governor of Anambra State, former running mate for presidential ticket of the PDP in the 2019 elections. And Peter Obi has also served in so many other boards of parastatals, starting from banks and other organizations. And he's been declared as Mr. Clean in some places. So all of a sudden, for that leakage to be published on last week Tuesday came as a surprise to many people. But for now, it is more of allegations. And the allegations are that, or let me start with what the Pandora Papers are out to do. Before then, we had the Panama Papers. And the Panama Papers, what Pandora Papers have done, is on a larger scale, and covering the whole world from Moscow to Monaco, or even to South Africa, even to South Africa, and then Nigeria. The issue, the main issue there is the level of transparency and accountability of our leadership, because the names mentioned will shake the whole world, that these things are happening behind in areas where you least expect. But we know that there are countries who their laws are able to accommodate this type of action by world leaders. You're talking of Switzerland used to be known for that. You can loot your country dry and take the money to there to Switzerland to be accepted. But now we
Well,
have
I think
areas.
I think Switzerland has changed now. I think they are changed. They have changed, or they are trying to change, one of the two, isn't it?
Yeah, I think what they're trying to tidy up their laws governing people bringing money to Switzerland. I think
So,
that's
so
what
what name should we go for in this one? Tony Blair? What did Tony Blair do according to Pandora Box?
Well, Tony Blair was accused of, trying to waive stamp duties on properties. Sherry and Tony, but even though Tony Blair tried to defend it. And what these people do is they don't register those organizations or transactions in the country where they're living. That's why in most cases offshore. They go to these safe havens where you can manipulate the system. You can do that type of business, and the laws will not catch up immediately. I think that's what happened. Tony Blair has come out to say he hasn't done anything wrong. He hasn't broken any law. So we want to see what the laws of the UK are going to do,
Whether he
especially.
has broken the law or not. How about
Yes.
Peter Obi? Did he break any law in Nigeria?
For now, as we started, we these are still in the realm of allegation. So until proven that he had broken laws, we're thinking of allegations. And what Peter Obi did to some large extent is area of evading tax, not declaring his asset properly when he was supposed to have done that, especially the forms he would have filled when going for the vice president of Nigeria in 2019. What were the figures? What were the properties? What were the assets he declared with the Code of Conduct Bureau?
But Peter Obi has defended himself. What did he say?
Well, that is his own part of the story, but to some extent, he claimed ignorance, and ignorance is not an excuse in law. That may not be able to stand in the law. And
All right. Before I go to Mark in Milan, tell us about Bagudu. Did he steal any money? What did he do? He's still a sitting governor, isn't he?
Yeah, Bagudu is in a class of his own. He's simple and straight. He laundered Abacha loot. Bagudu was a senator during the Obasanjo's regime. And that I know Obasanjo came immediately after Salami and after Abacha. And up to today, we are still talking of Abacha loot. This was the main errand boy, Bagudu and his brother Ibrahim Bagudu, and the family. And then the Swiss laws were very favorable to them. And for Abacha, one Abacha's son, Mohammed Abacha, was also part of the team that looted the treasury of Nigeria and transferred the money into Switzerland.
And all of these Pandora papers show them.
Yeah, all this Pandora paper showed it. In
And
fact,
Governor Bagudu is still on seat. He's not shaking.
Bagudu is the governor of Kebbi State, and
And the
he's
law of
also
Nigeria
chairman.
says you cannot prosecute a sitting governor.
Well, that's the level of immunity. But with the Panama Papers that we heard of in 2016, nobody has been prosecuted when they are no longer in office. People like Bukola Saraki, people like Senator David Umaru, they are no longer in office, and the government is not saying anything
Well, maybe they
about.
got 3 jabs. Once you get 3 jabs, your immunity increases. But let me quickly get to Mark in Milan. You had we cannot go through 11.9 million pages. So we're just taking these 3 men, Tony Blair, Bagudu, and Peter Obi. Mark, how do you see all of this?
Sashega, it's very, very intriguing. New revelations, strong expos, and well, there are 333,600 politicians from all over the world that has been indicted. It's a huge link. It's all more on tax invasion, tax open ups. In Nigeria, we have 9 people, actually, 9 of our politicians that have been exposed. All over the world, there are other places. In Angola, there is 9, there is in Ecuador, Colombia, Brazil, Pakistan, India, Russia, all corners of the world. So the Pandora Papers is a new one. It's different from the Panama paper. And while our focus is on Peter Obi, the ex-governor of Anambra State, southeast of Nigeria, is because he's an advocate. He claims to be an advocate of good governance, openness, and transparency. And in addition to so many speeches he has made on governance, he has also talked about how he has done very successfully well in business before diving into politics. And now it's a different story with the Pandora paper. So the Pandora paper is saying that he has he has tax invasion. He has escaped so many tax. He has dodged so many.
But Obi has said that they are family businesses. Why should he declare family business in his form declaration? What will you say?
Well, tax is tax, family business or no family business. As long as a transaction is going on, people are paying, money is exchanging, and all that. Something should be. You should account for that. So that's a little of like a flimsy excuse. Peter Obi should open up more. Since he's, like we said, an advocate of openness, advocate of transparency, so we want to see that advocacy in everything he does, and that's it. So Pandora
Okay.
paper is exposing a lot.
All right. Mark, I want to stay with you for this next discussion. Russia launched a nuclear submarine, and Putin says this is a game changer, or at least one of the game changers. Are we back into the Cold War?
That's a serious issue. Big Shagay. Yes, on Monday, Russia announced it has launched a supersonic missile from its nuclear submarine station for the first time, and to them it's a game changer. To them, it's a big landmark and a big project.
A
But
game changer. Those were his words. But what
yes,
game are they playing? We don't know. We never knew we were in a game, and now a game changer. Are we in danger?
okay, the game there is the nuclear built, the structure of it being nuclear.
Mm.
Submarines are not made out of nuclear components. And take note that this is the same thing that has caused division, small rift between United States, France, and the UK. It is this same Russian structured submarine. So that's the goal. The goal is to have a submarine that is that is nuclear structured. So they have pulled it out first, and that means they are heavyweights now in the sea battle. So but it's a different outlook from what we are seeing.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Let me ask the man who lives in the United Kingdom, Nat. The Russians have been giving the British government a lot of headache in the recent past. Their war planes stray into the air of Britain, and they had to chase them back. Now they have successfully launched what they call a game changer. To what extent do you think we should be scared?
Well, this is one of the fallouts of the exit of UK from
Europe.
EU. Even though they may still be part of the NATO alliance on strategic security, but UK has become more vulnerable now than before. So that is it's a wake up call for the UK, especially their armed forces, and what they need to do at this moment. Because what the message Putin has sent to the world is more of a continuation of an arm race. Who has the best weapons in their arsenal? We will collect that ex-president. What's his name again? The American chap.
Yeah, there are many of them.
Donald Trump.
Okay,
Donald Trump, before he left, had invested $2 trillion to update the arms facilities of the United States. And we know that China is just waiting, and I'm sure they are in league with Russia when it comes to this latest technology of submarine construction and operation. So we need to watch and pray and see how things unfold. It's a threat to small nations, even to big nations.
so it's about watching and praying now. Do you think the African Union did they take it seriously when they met in Ethiopia a few days ago?
That meeting of they went. I mean, Buhari was there and some other African countries to
Yeah.
inaugurate the president or prime minister of Ethiopia. I think it's president.
Yes.
Abiy,
Prime Minister.
Prime Minister Abiy, second term, and
Abiy Ahmed.
yeah, and you know it was it's shameful and disgraceful and very embarrassing that African heads of state, especially Buhari, will be there to coronate and to encourage the lawlessness of this Ethiopian man. You know, he won the Nobel Prize just some years ago, but he's now a warmonger. He has a lot of blood on his hands. The Tigray and Eritrea. I don't know why people should hurry to Ethiopia for his inauguration, and I'm not too sure if the ICC will not get him in the nearest future. So
the president of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, went there and said so many good things about him, and also talked about security in the nations. What advice did Buhari have to give others concerning security?
Buhari will always be at the wrong place, maybe at the right time. We don't even know exactly what he was doing in Ethiopia. Is he supporting the actions of Abiy, the president of Ethiopia? Honestly, as we keep saying, that was not that very, very uncalled for. They have, and the issue, the African countries will not speak against such things like killing your people, not condemning the coups that are rearing their ugly heads again, not condemning bad governance, because that's what they are doing in their respective countries. That's what the Nigerian president is doing in his own country. So he can't speak against such things.
I wonder what he will be saying, telling people that they should take their security seriously. Mark, what will you add before we go on break?
Something. Sorry. Yes. The Prime Minister has some issues against some ethnicity in Ethiopia, but sometimes some of these things, when we look closely, these are occurrences that have been coming even before his tenure. So it is not much of his. It's not much of. Yes, he's a leader now. He should look into it. But it is a situation that has been coming before he became the prime minister. Buhari was there mainly because Ethiopia and Nigeria now have bilateral cooperation in science, technology, and some aspect of endeavors. Also, his presence there matters because he adds to the color of Africa. So I think there's a video of that also with them all at the occasion. So Buhari was there, and being an African issue, it's important that he was there too. That also gives this good impression of Africa is taken into democracy. The young man was elected to serve another 5 years. He has done 5 before, and this is another second tenure. And the election so far was said to be credible, so far, from what some vigilators said. So we want to support democracy in Africa. We want Africa to take into the culture of good governance. So anything to support that is seen as noble. So this is my own view from what we were monitoring in Schengen here in Europe.
Okay, we'll leave it at that and then go for a short break. When we return, we want to look at the security situation in Nigeria, the killing of Dr. Chike Akunyili, the burning of the house of Joe Igbokwe, the incessant killings all over Southeast, not only Southeast, northeast of Nigeria, northwest of Nigeria, everywhere in Nigeria, killings. Don't go away, we'll be right back.
Schengen Story magazine is an African international bi-monthly magazine based in Milan, Italy, and founded in 2016. The publication focuses on personalities, fashion, style, entrepreneurship, and culture for Africans. Though articles on food, movies, fitness, music, travel, sports, technology, and books are also featured. Our lives full of best stories. A lot can happen in a month. Expand your mind, change your world. It's Schengen Story magazine's full editions. Celebrating Africans make an impact. Read better, the inside story. Your fashion magazine for a better lifestyle. Inspiring stories for you.
Thanks for watching News Echoes. We give you information, facts, and analysis that you might have an informed opinion, but you don't have to take our position. All you need to do, take a quality decision. That's what we ask of you. Now, let's zero in on Nigeria's security. It was a sad news and a sad time in Nigeria when the husband of Professor Dora Akunyili was murdered by unknown gunmen. And since then, nobody of substance has been arrested. The police have come out to say they've arrested some people, but not until they're prosecuted and found guilty that we'll know that they were the ones who perpetrated this evil. Not only him was killed, 8 other men were shot and killed. 3 of their heads severed and stolen away. There are so many challenges within the southeast. And the IPOB had come out to say they did not order the killing of Dr. Chike Akunyili. Let me hand it over to our own in-house researcher, Nat Yako, to give us an expo of what is happening in the southeastern part of Nigeria, the insecurity of that place, and the latest release of Nigerian soldiers to the area to go and battle them out, which in essence means that battle in 3 areas of Nigeria. The Nigerian army battling in the northeast against Boko Haram, the Nigerian army battling with bandits in northwestern part of Nigeria. Now the Nigerian army deployed to southeast, battling the so-called IPODs or unknown gunmen. So Nigeria is boiling in a war as we speak. Nat, what are you finding?
Well, what I'm finding is if we go back memory lane, some people in the southeast have kept reminding us that the civil war that was fought between 1966 and 71 or thereabout, has not ended. And we have seen that since the return to civil rule, the Southeast has been always operating very toxic atmosphere, but more recent, since 2017, when the IPOP leader Nnamdi Kanu was arrested. He was put in detention. He was tried, given bail. He jumped bail, and federal government had to abduct him, kidnap him in Kenya or Ethiopia or thereabout. The uprising, the agitation has intensified, and it just as we were about exiting SARS crisis, the southeast has now become the epicenter of violence. Not that can be compared to northwest or northeast. This is now a daily occurrence. It's an ongoing thing. The burning of correctional centers in Imo, the police station in Imo, and other southeast states, but it's zeroing in now on Anambra State. As we're all aware, the gubernatorial elections are coming on one month time, 6th of November 2021. The Anambra people are going to the polls to elect a new governor. But from the look of things, there's a serious challenge. INEC facilities have been touched. Their offices, their staff being touched almost every day. Individuals are being killed, and there was a pathetic incident somewhere I'm not sure whether it's a number of Imo, where one of the people who was beheaded, the unknown gunmen were using the head to play football. The public glare.
This for the first time.
Yes, very in public glare, and the individuals now being their lives being threatened. We remember even Soludo, the ABGA candidate. He was attacked, but only his policemen lost their lives. Dr. Chike Akunyele was also killed just last week or thereabout. And INEC, what is happening now, especially on Mondays, when nobody can go out to do any business in the state, the economy is down, the people are living in fear. We are not even sure. IPOB has said there will be no elections in Anambra State. INEC is saying there will be elections. The governors of the Southeast state have been talking, but nobody has been listening to them. IPOB has denied some of these incidences, and the phrase "the unknown gunmen" is now flying about in the south east. What we knew in the past was the unknown soldiers, but the soldiers were known. I'm sure the unknown gunmen are known by some individuals or groups.
Yes, was it not the government that coined unknown soldiers? Now, payback time is unknown gunmen.
Yes, again, the unknown is known to some people, and
Absolutely, some people they know themselves.
yeah, they know themselves. Especially they know themselves, and this hide and seek game they are playing in destroying Southeast, it must come to stop, because the implication.
Before I go to Mark in Milan, do you
Yeah.
have any solution to give to the government concerning this issue?
Well, the Southeast governors should come out clean and tell the nation the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Because from what some information we can glean from what's going on, some of them are in support of IPOP. But a more serious thing is, in the next 3 4 weeks, in the next 3 weeks, if elections cannot, or 4 weeks, if elections cannot hold in Anambra State, there's going to be a constitutional crisis. Although the constitution provides that there could be an extension of 6 months for
The
INEC
sitting
to be able,
governor.
yeah, for INEC to be
Or,
able
or,
to,
or the government may just appoint someone to take over the place as until they can form
yeah,
have an election.
the government could appoint a sole administrator.
The sole
Uh,
administrator.
yeah, but
And then also another danger is that there may be a domino effect. If they could be effective in Anambra, no election, and sole administrator, then it will surely have a dominion effect on all other Southeast states. But there's someone who is conversant with the terrain of Southeast, and that person is Mark in Milan. Mark, you know a lot of this area, inch by inch. I want to hear your analysis. The governor of Obiano is not in control of Anambra State as we speak. He is the governor, he is taking the subvention, but he dare not command the people not to go to work or to go to work. IPOP does that. So IPOP regulates that area. What have you got to say?
Oh, big brother, it's they're almost turning our precious, beautiful, God blessed land into a battleground. It's now a battle zone. Everybody's carrying AK-47, rocket-propelled grenades and running the streets. Yes, that's what's happening. And in the midst of this, there have been talks and dialogue meetings. As of 2 days ago, the governors had a meeting in Enugu, and but they don't seem to come to to an agreement. When they even come to the meeting, some of the governors will not be present. Some will send delegates, and these are issues that should not be treated like that. These are security of lives of people, of their people, their brothers and sisters. Dr. Ambassador Nat has given a very good take on that. But what is happening, is, like you said, is it really looks like IPOB controls the Southeast. IPOB has more voice. IPOB has more influence. So whatever the governors all say, at the end of the day, the people listen to IPOB. IPOB said, don't go out on Monday, and they stay home. So
Mark, just to interject there, the funniest one was IPOB said all the banks must pull down their Nigerian national flag on Independence Day anniversary. And do you know what? All the banks, they pulled down the Nigerian national flag, and when they were challenged that why did you do that? Oh, they said, oh, the flags were dirty. They went to wash them. Not that they were obeying IPOB, but they went to wash the flags. Can you controvert that one? But seriously speaking, when will the governors and the political elites and business elites be on their knees and call IPOB for discussion? Not the ones that they relegate them to the background. No, the ones to say, look, we are equal. Let us talk and let us get this place moving. We are losing 19 billion naira every Monday. And you know people will obey you because nobody wants his goods to be burnt by unknown gun people. So why don't we just come to a table and start afresh? I'm waiting seriously for that second.
I hope they hear your voice, Ambassador Shegun, because what you're saying is a very good advice to the governors. When things come to like this, there should be that roundtable talk and dialogue and everything, because it's really getting out of control. The governors have sprung up. They are arranging the Ebubeagu security outfit, but funny enough, it doesn't seem to be coming up well, because some of the people that would have been part of that Ebubeagu are their families will tell them, or friends will tell them, if you join, IPOB will go for you.
It's a serious matter.
So nobody wants to join something that the next day they will come take your family and probably kill you too. It's a serious thing. So what you just said is a very good advice. I hope and wish the governors listen to. Come to a round table.
I believe if I could repeat it again, please let us have a dialogue between the ruling and business elite on one hand and the IPOB on the other. What is going on in Southeast is not palatable, is not edifying, is most destructive to the most industrious part of Nigeria. Well, the federal government will only come and worsen the case. You cannot turn that place and have Biafra second war, because that's exactly what is going to happen now that they have deployed army. We are shouting at the top of our voice now. You, federal government of Nigeria, you want to start a second Biafra war because you don't even know who is fighting you. As the first Nigerian civil war, which we call Biafra war, at least you knew people you were fighting. This one will be another massacre. We Nigerians don't want it. So the earlier we shout now, call these people like you did at the Ijo, bring them together in Niger Delta like you did, and discuss the issue. If it will mean you will release Nnamdi Kanu to pacify them and then come and say, look, let us run democracy. But taking the army to go and start another war there is not going to be helpful in any form. I mean, let our brain come to work here. This is my position, but it's just an information. It's not going to be easy.
Very good position, Dr. Shagun. Very good one.
Yeah, let me allow Ambassador Nat to say one more thing so that we can then talk about others who are suffering, like Joe Igokwe. Nat, take it from where I stopped, please.
Okay, my addition to what His Grace has said is we should look at the root cause of the challenges we have today in the Southeast. And the people, what they are saying that they have been marginalized since after the second Niger bridge will never be complete, and they are they belonging to the Federal Republic of Nigeria, where appointments, promotions, no Southeast Indian has been found fit enough to occupy maybe the position of Chief of Army Staff. What they keep getting the PRO the what Buhari should do in the remaining 1 year and some months is to try to pacify the Southeast people, get to talk with IPOB, dialogue with them, dialogue with their elder statesmen. I see Buhari has appointed Senator Abaribe as the chairman of the NNPC company. I'm sure it's a political appointment, and if other appointments could go to Southeast sons and daughters, I think definitely the temperature will come down, and see how things can be sorted out before November 6th and before the general elections in 2023.
Let me ask you one crucial question, Ambassador. Now, with the poor performance of the federal government military outfit in the Northeast in the past 10 years and in the past 2 years in Northwest, do you see them making any headway in Southeast? If they could not defeat Boko Haram all these years,
You know,
how do they expect to
we have kept saying the question is leadership at all levels, from the presidency to the National Assembly to the governors and the local government governor. If we have a purposeful leadership, if we have a leadership that is going to extend extend this sense of belonging to everybody. Let everybody be seen to belong to the Federal Republic of Nigeria, especially when it comes to the deployment and the deployment utilization of federal resources. I mean resources, both human and material resources. We should be treated equally. There should be no second-class citizens in the country, or where it seems some particular geographical areas are benefiting more than the others, because this is the long and short of the challenges we have. So it will depend upon the APC federal government. What do they want to make of the Southeast? The East is asking for a presidential candidate. Let's have a president maybe 2023 from the Southeast geopolitical zone. So these are the issues. And then the issue of VAT. VAT is now on the front line. So the southern governors are speaking loud, and I think everybody has heard them.
And tell us more about people like Joe Igbokwe. There will be more Igbokwes that we don't know. That is people who have aligned with the federal government and with APC, and they are doing very well. Joe Igbokwe is part of the Lagos State Cabinet, and all of a sudden his house was discovered burning. Yes, and his house was burnt, of course, again by unknown burning men. I don't know whether we should call them unknown gunmen this time, but unknown arsonists when they burn his house. And there are conspiracy theories that it could have been the federal government doing it so that they will have a reason to call the dog a bad name. And we have been shown the inside how badly burnt. But we know that Joe Igbokwe, who has been serving in Lagos State, especially the APC in Lagos State, has been a forthright supporter of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And this is the outcome of his support for Federal Republic of Nigeria. Him coming from the bracket Biafra supporting Federal Republic of Nigeria. Now his salary for that is burning of the house. So should the man be looking at his back even in Lagos?
Well, if we some now in this age of fake news, fake videos, and so many things, but if we want to believe some of the information that we picked, some of the graphic pictures we can see, for practical purposes, we're told that Joe Ibekwe sold that property. So I don't think he can lay claim again to that property. If it is true that he has sold the property, then he no longer had claim on that property, and that's why maybe those who bought it decide to burn down the the place.
They burn down their own house.
Yeah, burn down their home because they have paid for it, and they can do
Yeah.
anything they want to do with it.
Mark, I'm sure you are not comfortable with all these discussions. This concern Igbo men and Igbo rich men, Igbo elites. They are being decapitated. How badly do you feel?
Very, very. It's not a good feeling, Dr. Shagun. Things are just going topsy-turvy, and we are not. It's not putting us in a good light. It's not. We're not getting good image with all this, because it shows how confused, how disorganized we are, how we're not united, how we're not ourselves, our brother's keeper any longer, how every man is just striving for his own selfish gain. And these gain are exaggerated things, wants, and things that are of no much consequence. So this is it. We see all this playing out, and probably more will be playing out before this election in November the 6th, because
Yeah.
greed is too much. Everybody's ambition is high. Everybody wants to lead at all costs. Everybody wants to be relevant at all costs. Nobody understands the real what it takes to be a leader, to control. Everybody just wants to lead, and this is it.
Okay. Let me quickly ask, for the sake of our viewers and listeners, who are the contenders in this November 6th election in Anambra? I know Soludo is one for Abga. Who else?
There are 17 of them. There are many of
No. I mean for APC, PDP, and Abga.
Okay. I think Dr. Ambassador Nat
Nat.
will know.
Nat, who is representing APC?
You see, the APC, even the Abga issue, there is contention.
In the court.
Nobody is sure who is who when it comes to the candidates of Abga, APC. We know PDP. We know the Zenith Labour Party.
Yeah.
I think that is the person of Dr. Obiora Okonkwo. All others may be subject to change between now and the allowed deadline by INEC.
But I thought INEC has finally chosen Soludo.
No, but I think the issue hasn't been completely sorted out. The issue is still in court. Either the appeal court, or it has gone to the Supreme Court.
Ambassador Nat, given the situation in Anambra State, is INEC not now the sole determinant of who wins that election, even before election?
I think from our past experience is INEC and the courts, because we have seen a situation.
Because INEC will come up with a figure and says Mr. X has won, and he becomes the governor, and somebody else will go to court. Whether it's the fourth position or the fifth position does not matter to the court. He will become the number one, isn't it?
No, it is the law. Is what the Supreme Court says or the appeal court says that people will go with, which we are trying to run away from.
It's very interesting. Anambra State is one of the most educated states in Nigeria. with proven names of educators and scientists and ambassadors. Unfortunately, it's been brought down at this moment because some people refused to use their brains and get out of the quagmire that the Southeast is getting into. But we won. There should be no war again in the Southeast. We won right now because the only answer the federal government is trying to put in place is soldiers going in and maiming and killing. That is not the solution. So we won from this. Before we go and break, Mark, do you have anything to add?
No, we are behind you, Dr. Haugan. We on this platform, News Echoes, Schengen Story, Europe, UK, representing about 17 million Nigerians in abroad in Europe and UK. We say Anambra people should reason together, come in agreement, give us a good election so that peace may reign. Because whatever happens in November 6th proceeds to 2023, and we want peace in our country. We don't want to be hearing this. It's not pleasant waking up to know somebody's being killed, somebody's house is burnt, somebody is dying, somebody has been abducted, somebody has been kidnapped, somebody's head is used in playing football. These are not, in this time, we don't need this. So on behalf of the team, we all say, let there be peace and let things be done orderly, well. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bishop Mark. We'll go on a short break. When we return, we'll be talking about politics in Nigeria.
Yes. Thank you.
It appears we have someone, a guest from Nigeria.
Yes.
Is our guest here, man?
Yes, after the break. Thank you.
Okay, after the break. Welcome back to News Echoes, where we give you information, facts, and analysis. We've been dealing with international issues and zooming on Nigerian issues. Today, we have a special guest all the way from Rivers State in Nigeria. He's been an honorable member of the Federal House of Representatives. He has for many years worked with the ruling party, but he just left them to join the People's Democratic Party. And it's my pleasure to welcome to the studio Honorable Ogbonna Nwoke. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you so much. Good morning.
The Nigerians in diaspora, 17.1 million of them would like to meet you. Will you mind telling us who you are in very few seconds, and then we can ask you specific questions?
I didn't quite get that.
Yes, sir. We are trying to say that we would like to meet with you. What have you been doing for Nigeria in the past 5-10 years? So that we first of all meet with you. We want Nigerians in diaspora to know you.
All right. In 2007, I was director of press to the governor of Rivers State, and later became commissioner of information. And thereafter, Commissioner of Commerce and Industry, where it was my duty to encourage direct investments. And I moved on to the National Assembly in 2011, served between 2011 and 2015 We've been involved in politics. I'm a publisher. Incidentally, I own a newspaper, the Port Harcourt Telegraph. We engaged in politics. I was spokesperson for APC until recently. Now I'm a member of the People's Democratic Party.
All right, sir. Thank you very much for that short introduction. Your pedigree has gone before you, and so we know you've been very much involved in the politics within the Niger Delta zone of Nigeria. What would be your assessment of APC in the country since Buhari took over?
Well, quite frankly, there are arguments, misreactions across the country. Some persons think that the country has become much more difficult, particularly if you're talking in terms of having crisis in the northeast, crisis in the southeast, prices tumbling here and there. People are saying life is much more expensive now. Experts are also saying that there's some recovery when you are looking at the economy, its performance. Saying GDP has grown by about 5%, and the indication here is that we are looking forward to a much more robust economy. There's an attempt to diversify the economy. Of course, you know that when the government came, oil prices definitely was down. Now, but in between, there have been so many issues that become certain contradictions. Take the issue of open grazing and the conflict with that has led to with farmers and headers. So all of those, some areas you are supposed to be moving forward and you find yourself you are going backwards. So, and there were promises made by the Buhari administration, perhaps promises made from the outside, which did not reflect when it came to power. And so most of those promises have remained unfulfilled, and the Nigerian people increasingly have been agitating, not just to have better governance, but also better lifestyles.
Yes, sir. You were the spokesperson for APC in Rivers until 2 weeks ago. So why did you change your mind?
Well, I have persistently said to myself that my decision to leave the APC was personal, very personal. But you can imagine that we are part of a system that has become increasingly out, with all due respect to the APC, out of touch with the Nigerian people. All politics, they say, largely local, and I come from the Niger Delta, where if you are looking very closely, you'll find that all the South states are indeed PDP. And we are from Rivers, where also, in respect of what is going on, the present government in Rivers has tried to do well in terms of the provision of infrastructure. And so, where as a politician you're interested in what comes around to your territory where you're coming from, my constituency has been largely ignored by the APC that were fought for or spoken for. And but next door, we see that the PDP appears to have found the key to the ethnic nations' problems. Our greatest problem with food basket, our greatest problem is that we have no access. Sometimes we wonder, we're oil producing, we have nothing to show for it from NDDC. HA has over 205 oil wells, some flow stations, and I said before that we have over 80% of gas reserves south of the River Niger. Now, all of this has not transformed into a better life for the ordinary HA person. And if you're involved in political space, it just simply makes sense that you need to look for those who are likely development partners, people who share the aspirations of your people, who are likely to put them in the mainstream of what's going on. And that's what's happening in Rivers. Right now, the Rivers State government is paying heed to the major challenge that the Che people face, that of access. It's unfortunate that the world is talking about some tourism in space. We're still looking in Africa, particularly in Rivers, we are still looking for access to our villages. It's unfortunate.
The Excellency, the River State Governor, recently said the PDP is infested with malaria parasites, while the APC is infested with cancer. How will you help us to decipher this one? And are you ready to be bitten by mosquitoes to have malaria in your body?
Well, I think that's for the governor of River State actually to express, define properly. But for me,
we tend to be
you are hit by malaria, and you can find yourself in trouble. But the doctors provide the medicine, and then you can recover. You know, cancer is terminal. It means that if you're infected by cancer and you don't discover that early enough, you're 2 steps away from the grave. So perhaps when you were to look at what he tried to say figuratively, then you will see that what he's saying is that the APC has a larger slice of the problem than the PDP does.
Okay, I will still come with more questions, but I have my colleague in the city of London. He lives in Eastern London, but in the studio with me. You know, we do everything virtual these days. In the studio is Ambassador Nati Yapo, former Nigerian ambassador, but my colleague here, he will have 1 or 2 questions for you. Are you ready, sir? Nat.
Yes.
Which question do you have for his honorable?
Okay. It's a great privilege to meet you on screen, and I have listened attentively to your answers to questions, and it looks like you are coming back to PDP to prepare for 2023. What's your response to that?
Well, everybody talks about 2023, and my attitude, I must tell you, I must confess that I say to myself that it's important to ask for life first. God runs our lives. You live long enough, you need to be grateful to Him. And so, for those who really do not have ambitions in 2023, they have a right. But my ambition at this point in time is stay alive. Hope to contribute to nation building in so many ways. Not necessarily, you don't need to contest elections all the time. And so for me, I think that my role in 2022 would be to support my compatriots, work with them hand in hand, and ensure that we're able to bring change to Nigeria. Of course, as you know, there's always been this comment by the PDP, let's change the change. Now, it means that the change that we have at present is not working, and we need to do something about it as a country.
I think
actually should belong to the people, and the people should express their preferences through the voting point.
I think Ambassador Nell's question is germane because we have seen alignments and realignments both in PDP and APC, and everybody is saying, oh, they are repositioning their key men for 2023. And this is what we mean, sir. We mean that now that we have been told that PDP has zoned chairmanship to the north, then the presidency will be zoned to the south, and the River State governor, the incumbent, is likely to present himself. And so people like you are moving into PDP to help him attain that presidential ticket and the presidency if that's what Nigerians want. So what's your comment to that?
Well, I think that first of all, we need to commend the Southern governors. We need to commend the South governors, and also commend the sense of fairness that we are seeing in Nigeria this time. Of course, you know that we talk in terms of North and South in this country, and we found an ingenious way as Nigerians trying to see how well power can be shared without creating conflicts. So I believe that, of course, 2023 is pregnant. All the parties, the major parties, are saying they're moving in the direction of the South, which makes sense. And as a Nigerian born in the South, I'm grateful to this country that at a time like this, we are talking reasonably. We're not threatening one another. Ideas are flowing, and there's some sense in what is going on. So power is coming to the South. Now, well, a lot of Nigerians perceive that perhaps Governor Nyesom Wike of Rivers State might be eyeing higher office. But the governor himself has said that his major interest at this time is to drive development in Rivers, and that when he's done with his assignment in Rivers, then he will be looking forward. But it isn't a bad idea if we were to have Wike on the ballot, the reason being that no one can deny the fact that he has become a champion of the campaign to ensure fiscal federalism in this country. The arguments over VAT, the arguments over stamp duties, and the increasing posture of state government, so beginning to think it's time to open this space, suggests that if we were to be president of Nigeria, there will be something Nigerians should be looking forward to, the clear devolution of powers, you know. So nobody points at his hometown with the left hand according to oral tradition. So if you're assuming that some of us are crossing over to the PDP in order to support Governor Wike, then you may not be too far away from the truth. But to tell you, we hear what is critical to us is the good work that the governor of Rivers State is doing. What's critical to us is the effort in terms of generating a new sense of nationalism in Nigeria, some national consciousness. That's beautiful. Now, whether or not he will become president of Nigeria will be his decision to make. At this point, at my level, it is very impossible that I'll say to you that Governor Wike is running for presidency. He hasn't said that to me anyway. So I don't know what his mindset is.
All right, Honorable, we have a colleague in Milan. Mark Godwin is in Milan. He wants to ask you a question. Mark, over to you.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Honorable Ugwuna is obviously a very good spokesman. I can see that he's, apart from being a seasoned journalist, he has a very good approach to issues, and he presents it very well in his spoken language. But I have this one question, sir, Honorable Ugwuna. PDP's performance before APC came in was almost rated 0. In fact, that was why there was that urge, why there was that strong demand for APC. And behold, we brought in something also not too very good. So what can PDP do that is not that they couldn't have done when Jonathan was president? What new things does PDP have? Because we see, those of us monitoring from Europe, is the same circle of old politicians with no new idea, nothing too new. Even what you said about our great friend, Governor Wike, those statements are just, they are not tangible enough for governance. The statement on VAT, the statement on, they are not tangible. And I put it to you also, his performance of building roads and construction, it's not much of an achievement. I mean, anybody can build roads. So those things don't really dazzle us here in Europe. There are more greater, magnificent things that could be done, and we are not seeing that. So what can PDP do? This is coming straight to you, Honorable. I say this with all respect to your office and to your intelligence. What new thing do you guys have? What new thing do we expect? Not road building, not those things are nothing. You don't tell me you build my road and I'll begin to clap and say I'll vote for you. I mean, road is a necessity. The things they talk as campaign are necessities. Honorable Ogbonna, you're a great man.
Okay,
all right.
Honorable, over to you.
All right. The first thing to say here is that on a comparative basis, we're not at the same level with Europe. Nigeria is about 60, 61 years old, and we have democracies that have lasted for over 100, 200 years. That's not to use that as an excuse, not exactly. Now, we're underdeveloped, and everybody knows that. And now we're struggling. It's a process, to get developed. So providing basic infrastructure, which will fuel that drive, is critical. And maybe that's why for us out here, doing those things that ought to have been done, which were not done over the years, have become very critical for us, because they are necessary in order to even open the doors to investors and create room for the management of fresh ideas. Now, I figure that the PDP is retooling, rebranding itself, because in the last 16 years of administration in this country, quite a lot of people did not think that the PDP offered credible leadership. But it depends on how you're looking at it. There were strides taken by the Obasanjo administration. People lauded. There were strides taken under our late president, Yaradua, who died, even though he didn't sit long enough. And there were strides also taken by Jonathan. Now, by and large, what you are seeing is that if we were to look at it from a systemic point of view, you realize that the fact that the Buhari government is also saddled with great challenges at this point suggests that if we were to look at Nigeria from the days when we had the oil wealth, when we said the problem was how to spend our money, onto this day, there have been all kinds of variables, and all of them have made development a sorry word for failure. It's unfortunate, but somehow, since the return of democracy in 1999, at least this is the longest we have had in terms of enjoying people's power. We've always had the military in the saddle. That has changed now, but the PDP is experienced. It's been in power before it lost it, and it's gone back to the drawing board and possibly come up with ideas, fresh ideas that are likely to be acceptable to the Nigerian people. So, as we speak, the PDP is obviously cashing in on the mistakes, particularly under the APC administration, the issue of insecurity, which has made life in Nigeria short and brutish, the inability of the president to move against bandits, to describe bandits as terrorists. You understand all of those tales. Now, what we need is a Nigerian president, somebody who can bring the North, the East, the South, the West together, somebody who has very little baggage when it comes to being an extreme ethnic bigot. And so we're thinking that perhaps now that the PDP is also done the right thing, because quite a lot of people were worried that power will not transfer from the North to the South. Now that they have said, of course, they are willing to allow our brothers in the North to be the chairman of the party while the South provides the president. I think that will bring quite a lot of things into play. But the PDP appears more focused at this point. That's the point I want to make.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We are mindful of the time. Nat, do you have one more question before I ask my own final question?
Yeah, the Honorable Ogbonna tomorrow is going to be very, very critical and will determine a lot of things for the PDP. Are you not seeing any fear? Are you hopeful that the zoning formula proposed by the Enugu Governors Committee, you think it will stand and will second those in the appeal court? Are you going to sleep tonight? Well,
Over to you, Honorable.
Very good question. I think that let's start with the issue of secondus. You know that peace making is a process. It's not something you achieve in a hurry. And the elders of the party have been engaging secondus. Now the situation is moved a little bit away from secondus in some sense, because now we are talking about the possibility of a chairman of the party from the north. So that in itself reduces the secondus factor. But the good thing is that the party set up those committees that are looking at the possibility of holding a convention, the committee that's looked at zoning, and the committee has come out with a position that will be discussed by the party tomorrow. No doubt about that. Everybody has his fingers crossed. But we do not imagine that the good work has been done by the committee responsible for zoning matters will be thrown overboard. The signals that are coming do not suggest so. And you know too that critically the PDP has relies seriously on its governors, and those governors appear to be speaking the same language at this time. That gives room for that feeling that whatever the committee has put together will be respected by both the all the top officials who are meeting in Abuja tomorrow to look at what is going on.
Okay,
Amen.
I'm mindful of the time, Your Honorable. You made mention of Governor Wike helping out with fiscal federalism. And of course, we know what you're talking about concerning the VAT. He who pays the piper dictates the tune, unless you are in Nigeria. And they have challenged him. The northern governors have challenged him. You should be your brother's keeper. Bring all your money. Let's spend it in the north. And more importantly, they've gone to Supreme Court. The case has gone to the Supreme Court. Do you think Governor Wike alone can turn the federal fiscal federalism all by himself, even with the support of Babajide Sanwo-Olu from Lagos State? It looks dicey, isn't it?
Well, what we are seeing is that more state governments are becoming interested in the case as before the Supreme Court. But it is unique that people are walking across party lines. That should be taken seriously. Nobody's looking at it from a pure PDP perspective or an APC perspective. What we are seeing is that the states appear to be saying at this point in time that they need to redefine their relationship with federal government. Now, that is critical. Now, for whatever position comes from the Supreme Court will be understandable, because beyond the Supreme Court, there's no appeal. Now, but
yeah, okay. But let me just quickly cut you short, because I'm being informed of our timing. If you were sitting in front of President Muhammadu Buhari, what will you tell him to do concerning the security of Nigeria? In very few seconds, Mr. President, you should do this. What is it?
Well, I think that he needs to come down hard on those who are responsible for the unrest in Nigeria. He doesn't need to create the impression that he's leaning very hard on the southeast and being very understanding when it comes to matters in the northeast. But I must say that Nigerians want to live in peace. They want to sleep with their two eyes closed, and they want a president who is very proactive and a president who will bring peace to troubled areas like the Middle Belt, where communities have been burnt down under his watch. We would like to see a president that is much more forthright, a president that's more determined to govern this country, more determined to build those bridges of cooperation that we need to fix Nigeria. So that would be my advice to the president. They'll do something and do something quickly.
Okay, Mark in Milan, anything from Europe before I close this episode?
Thank you very much. It's an honor having Honorable Gunnar. We are happy to hear him speak very well. And I think PDP should make you a national spokesman also, Honorable Gunnar, because
that is not up to you, Mark.
Yes.
Well, Honorable Gunnar, thank you very much for coming to our program today. I want to thank my colleagues, Milan, Mark, thank you very much, from the City of London. Ambassador Nat, thank you very much. From the crew in Milan, studio crew, we thank you very much. And more importantly, those who are watching us and listening to us and making comments throughout, we thank you very much. Until next Wednesday, when we bring you the latest episode across the globe. My name is Shegun Johnson. God bless you all.
Thank you.
Oh.